So thanks so much for coming, everyone. At any point, if something goes funny, just unmute yourself and tell me. I'd really appreciate it, just in case, like, I don't know, my screen goes black or something and I haven't realized. But this is the Hotpod Flow refresher session. So in this session, we'll be looking at the Hotpod Flow class structure, and it's a chance for you to tell me how things are going for you. I'd also like to hear what would be helpful for you, as you're the ones teaching it in your studios multiple times a week. And we're really keen to hear your thoughts and your feedback. And hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. And I'd really like it if we could all feel like we finished this session and everyone feels really aligned with what we're offering with the Hotpod Flow. Because as you know, it's the class that populates the timetable. It populates 80% of the timetable. It's likely to be the first class that someone would try if they came to Hotpod, and it's probably the class they attend the most. And if we're thinking of the context of hot yoga, it could be perceived, let's say, as the most transformative class of all the class styles, because when they finish the class, they're going to feel really different. They're going to feel like, wow, what was that? Because there's so much in it. And they're likely to see a difference in themselves if they practice it 2 or 3 times a week, because you'll have noticed this in your students, right? They come to classes, they come regularly, you start to see a development that they're having, and they'll talk to you about it as well. They'll say, oh, have you seen my chaturanga? Have you seen, how I can lie in shavasana easier than I used to, that you start to see their development, which is amazing. And the Hotpod Flow is also designed, and you'll know this already, but just to kind of recap, it's welcoming and it's accessible and suitable for all levels, regardless of experience, which, as you know, as a teacher, can be quite hard to strike that balance sometimes, can't it, when you've got more experienced students coming as well as newbies. So we'll talk about that later. So those of you who are here, thank you again for coming. And I don't know if I said who I am. I'm Carla. I've met some of you, and I'm one of the lead teachers at Hotpod. So this session, it might be a chance for you to fine-tune your approach to teaching the class. Maybe you want some fresh inspiration, and we'll run through the fundamentals as well. So to just run through the principles of teaching this particular class so that we all feel aligned. And we're here to support you. So we want your honest feedback, honest questions, because we want to make your experience teaching this even more enjoyable than it is now. And if I can't answer it today, or say it's something that you're like, oh, I wish we had this resource, then I'll make a list and I'll go away and I'll get those things done for you, okay, in due course. Because we're really, really keen to keep the support up and the resources ready for you. So it might be that we record some short videos, or we think about the sequence and how it's structured, and anything like that we'll take on board. Okay. So how today will run, I'd like to hear from you first. Then I'll teach you a 45-minute version of the Hotpod Flow. Then we'll have time to run through some fundamentals, and there'll be a chance for Q&A at the end. So there will be times where some of you will be writing in the chat box. Some of you will be unmuting and talking. But say if I miss your questions, Helen might pick them up as well, and we can answer them at the end. Or say you think of something quite close to the end of the session, just write it down and ask me at the end, okay? And I'll try my best to answer everyone. So I'm guessing that everyone's teaching the Hotpod Flow, yeah, already? Is anyone like brand new to it? No, everyone's teaching it, right? Yeah, because I would imagine that's kind of what you're teaching, because it's most of the timetable. So yeah, that makes sense. So can you write, if you've got any immediate questions or you know, ideas about what you want from this session, feedback that you think I could help you with immediately in this session, write it in the chat box, or if you prefer, you can unmute and just talk to me. Either way, let me know. Don't be shy. I'm just checking the chat. Anyone got any questions or feedback?
Hi.
Gary, you're unmuted.
Yeah, hi Carla, how are you?
Thanks, how are you?
Good, thank you. I have a question as an owner, and it's certainly something that's kind of comes up in themes and conversations over the last couple of years, is this antidote of we can bring our own flair into the flow. I would really like to know, what does that mean without it meaning we can change the flow, but like, what does it mean? It's a question I hear a lot. It's like, how much of myself in my own inspiration, or how much of my own spice can I bring in the flow without it moving away from what's a Hotpod flow? And it's something that my team, and I've heard a lot over the last couple of years, and also myself as a teacher as well. It's like, you know, how much of yourself and what does it actually mean beyond just snap scrap, bring your own spice into it or bring your own flair into it?
Okay, so this is
Thank
a
you.
really good question. Thanks, Gary. Such a good question. And I definitely will cover that when we go through our slides later after the class. So if I can like put a pin in that for a sec, and we'll come back to it. It's a really, really good question. I'm sure that lots of you are thinking the same, like how much can we go? How much can we move away from the structure? How much can we bring alternative poses in? Where do we bring those alternative poses in? All those questions. So yeah, really good question. Thank you. We'll come to that. Hannah's written timings to make sure enough time for everything. Yes. Okay. So that's pace of Hotpod flow. Okay. Good questions. Thanks, Rosemary James. Sorry, I couldn't help but read your full name then, Rosemary. The timings thing. So if you're teaching, we'll talk about this when we talk about the structure and the pace after I've taught you. If you're teaching every single segment of the class and it's flowing and it's smooth, it should all work out timings wise. The bit that I struggle with, I still struggle with it. I've taught it like, you know, must be like 100 times now, I don't know, is fitting in all of the floor at the end. So I find myself skipping maybe Janu Shasana and I go straight to Paschimottanasana. Or I might skip the reverse tabletop, for example, because I'm like, I haven't got time for that. I want to get them in Shavasana, you know. So you might be the same as me, but generally speaking, I get everything else in. So it should flow if you're not hanging around too long at the beginning, not hanging around too long at any section, really, keeping it flowing, it should all work out. But I understand it's probably a practice thing, practicing it, doing it more, noticing how you're cueing. Are you saying maybe too much? Are you holding them too long? Might be that kind of thing. But we'll talk about that in a bit more. Rose, okay, thanks, Rose. My middle name's Rose. I have exactly that with the floor work. Oh yeah, you're not the only one. Absolutely not. The pace of the flow, we'll talk about pace later. And hopefully I'll give you an idea of how the pace should be when I teach you. Basically, it's like getting them in that landing pose, giving them that chance to feel it, giving them a couple of cues, 2 or 3 cues. It's kind of it. And then getting them out again. But moving with the breath, it's not like bam, 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 bam. It's like, and release down. Let's come into plank. Take a breath in. Exhale to lower. Breathing in, up dog. Exhale, down dog. So it's not like a race. But if we held them there too long and said too many things, they're going to get into their heads. We'll talk about that later, the pace. All right, any other concerns, questions before we begin with a bit of practicing? No? Okay. Right, so I need to switch back to my other computer. Just make sure that you've got your mat ready, everyone. I'll just come off here for a sec and I'll switch back to here. Okay, I'm back over here. Hello. I'm gonna do a sound check. Okay, if I'm talking like this, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Okay. And it's not too quiet. Okay.
No, it's good.
Great. Okay, thank you everyone. I won't be putting music through my side of things, but if you want to put music on your side of things, you're welcome to, absolutely. And what I'll do, this is a version of Hotpod Flow. So I'm going to give you like my sort of alternative, a bit of creativity that I've put in that's different from the ones in the manual, just to show you what you might, some of you, I would imagine most of you, or if not all of you, are doing this already, but it's just quite interesting sometimes to see what someone else is doing with the flow, basically, when you're adding creativity in. I'm going to do some of the class, and then I'll come and teach at the screen at the same time for some of it as well. Some of you will probably, you might have noticed, but I'm 20 weeks pregnant, so I'm not going to be able to demo all of it. And I might just kind of need to stop every now and then, but I'll be fine. But just in case you're thinking, why isn't she doing it? That's why. Okay. It's quite hot in here actually, with the heat turned off, with the pod. All right, so get whatever you need. Oh, thanks, Shannon. Thank you. I'm gonna see if I can make my screen bigger so I can see myself. Not because I want to see myself particularly, but just so I'm checking you can see me. Woo-hoo. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, it's not bad, is it? Just make sure you're all muted, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay. So we'll start seated. This will be roughly 45 minutes. 45 minutes roughly, yeah? Might be 50, but I'm going to keep it shorter than 60 just because I want to get through the slides and talk to you after. So go ahead and get settled in a seated pose, everyone. This can be crossed shins or crossed ankles. I'll leave it up to you. Take the hands to the knees or in the lap. Get yourself comfortable. Roll the shoulders up, take a breath in, and roll them back and down on the exhale. Just do that a couple of times, breathing in to lift, and exhale, roll the shoulders back. Just feel like you're arriving onto the mat, especially with that exhale. One more time. And pause just for a few moments here, either with the eyes closed or open. I'll leave it up to you. I'll keep my eyes open so I can see you all. Bring your awareness here to the movement of the breath. Movement of the breath through the nose. See if you can relax the jaw and the root of the tongue. Sitting up as tall as you can, and notice the muscles that you're using to sit up in this way. And as you notice the pathway of the breath, notice that breath in and the breath out. And perhaps as you start to notice this breath, it becomes a bit smoother. And there's this steadiness to the breath. And we're trying to keep that going for the whole of class if we can. Okay. Let your right ear come towards the right shoulder. And with this action, there'll be a neck stretch on the other side. Breathe into that stretch. Keep the shoulders heavy. They creep up. Just give them a little roll down again. And slowly come back to center. Let's do the other side. Ear towards the shoulder. The great thing about this pose is the head sort of does the work for you. The weight of the head creates this stretch for the neck. I notice the belly expanding on the breath in and softening back on the exhale. Starting to come back up. Good, let's reach back, fingers back, chains across the legs. I'll show you this from the side. So interlace, hands, rock forwards onto the front of the pelvis, palms up, chest up, take a breath in. Exhale, palms down and roll back. So more of a flexion. Inhale, palms up, chest up, more of an extension. Exhale, a rounding flexion, twice more. Breathe in. Now. Last time. Good, very nice. Okay. From there, take your left hand over to the right knee and the right fingertips behind. Press down through the pads of the fingers, lift up tall, take that inhale. Exhale to rotate to the side. Twice more, breathing in. Exhale to rotate. Breathing in. Exhale, maybe looking towards the back. Change. Right hand to the left knee, left fingertips behind. Just 3 of these. Sit bones down, spine lifted, then a rolling open of the chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale to rotate. Last one. And back to center. Good. All fours when you're ready. I'm not going to demo this. So come into downward facing dog. Hands wide, feet about hip width. And lift the hips high and start to pedal the feet right and left. That's it. Good. Yeah, easing into the backs of the legs. Pause in downward facing dog and feel free to have a bend in the knees in downward facing. Long in the sides of the waist. Feel the outer upper shoulders wrap around. So it's a slight hollowing of the armpits. And the low ribs. So draw in slightly at the front. And these are the 2 versions of vinyasa that you're welcome to practice. Choose between them, do a mix of both, whatever you like. So the first version, if you come forwards to plank on the breath in, shoulders above the wrists, and exhale, lower the knees and the rest of the body, half chaturanga. Elbows in, nice. Just the head, chest, shoulders off the floor and the breath in, low cobra. And exhale, come back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Through a child's pose if you like. Okay, the second version, inhale forwards to high plank. Either take the knees down or lower halfway from here, chaturanga. Exhale. Bring the chest forwards, hands and feet if it's up dog, knees off the floor. Or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high, sides of waist long. Good stuff, everyone. One more of those in your own time. Yeah, good. Nice control. Very nice. And you can choose between them both. Stick to one if you prefer. Yeah, good, everyone. Nice. Okay, so lift the right leg from here. Roll open the right hip. And bend the knee. Keep the armpits facing the floor. Let's re-extend the legs, square the hips, bring the knee forwards, bring it to your right elbow, and place it to the outer right hand. Lower down the left knee from here. Lizard pose. So the hands can pad forwards, pelvis can pad forwards, but draw in right leg to right arm and squeeze them together. Right hip draws back, firm the left glute. Option to go lower onto forearms if you want to. You can also use your bricks here as well. So you might bring the bricks down and then bring your forearms on. I'm a staying on the hands in lizard type of gal. You might be like me. Okay, nice everyone. Well done. Slowly coming up to the hands if you're lower. Now, let's take the foot slightly closer in and come up to a higher version of this low lunge. Bring the foot slightly forwards. Have a deeper bend of the right knee, but keep the firmness of the back glute. Let's interlace the hands, release the first finger of each hand, pistol grip, and go forwards and up into a slight back bend. So lift the chest, look up, draw the right hip back, firm the left buttock. So quite subtle, press down through the back foot, the back shin. Breathe steady. And then a slow release. Well done. Okay, good. Step it back, no rush. Downward facing. And a vinyasa. Inhale forwards. Exhale to lower. Elbows in. Breathe in, move the chest forwards and through. And exhale, push the ground away, downward facing dog. Let's go left leg up, bend the knee, roll open the hip. Keep the sides of the waist really long. Re-extend the leg, square the hips, knee to elbow and foot to the side of the hand. Back knee to the floor from here. Same options for lizard. So you could go forwards a bit with the hands. You could come down a bit lower onto bricks or the floor. Really make that effort here to squeeze the left knee kind of in towards the arm. And the arm can squeeze back into the leg. Bit higher now. You're on the forearms, bring it back up. Foot comes in slightly, lift yourself up to a slightly higher version of it. Bring this foot forwards and bend the knee deeper. Keep the firmness of the right buttock, this back buttock here. Left hip draws back from here. Let's go pistol grip again. Forwards and up. So it's quite subtle. We're still warming up. Hug the front body in and up. Drop the tail as you lift the chest. You can look forwards, you can look up. It's up to you. Press the palms together as an option. Firm down the back shin and foot. One more breath here. And slowly easing down. Take it back, all fours. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards plank. As you exhale, lower down with control. As you breathe in, move forwards, tone the back edge of the body. Exhale, push the ground away, sharpen the heel bones back. Downward facing dog. Fantastic. Okay, so this is fairly similar, this next bit. I haven't really changed this next flow section up. So let's lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, roll open the hip. Re-extend, square the hips. This time, let's go knee forwards, foot in between the hands. Slowly rise up to high lunge. Good. Now from here, back knee can have a bend, back leg can be straight, up to you. Go slightly wider in the front foot if you need that extra balance. Lift the front hip slightly. One more breath in. As you exhale, take the hands down to the floor, frame the front foot. Let's inhale, come back to plank. Exhale to lower, elbows in. Breathe in, feel like you're pulling the body forwards. And as you exhale, you're pushing the body back. Let's go left leg up. Take your time with these split dogs. Bend the knee, roll open the hip. Nice. Let's re-extend. Square the hips. Draw the knee to the nose, round the back. Draw the front body in as you place the foot in between the hands. Start to rise up with control. Imagine you're squeezing an extra wide yoga brick in between the hands. That's it. Draw the front ribs in. Drop the tail. Deep bend in front knee. Really nice. Let's take one more breath in and take the hands down, exhale. Breathe into high plank. Exhale to lower, keep those legs sharp if you're in that chaturanga. Inhale, bring it forwards, shoulders back, and exhale, hips high. Good, let's inhale, lift the right leg. As you exhale, bend the knee, roll open the hip. Inhale to re-extend, leg gets longer. Exhale, square the hips, step through. Let's take a breath in to rise up. This time, open to the side of the space. On the exhale, warrior two. So it's roughly heel to arch, roughly. Yeah. Back toes can slightly turn in. Go wide with the arms and look past the front fingertips here. Have a slight firmness to the glutes here. Tailbone dropping downwards. One more breath in across the width of the arms. And as you exhale, take the hands down, all the way down, frame the foot. Take a breath into plank. And exhale to lower. A breath in to move the body forwards, collarbones broad. And an exhale to take you back to downward facing dog. Let's go left leg up, take a breath in. Bend the knee, roll open the hip, exhale. Breathe in to re-extend, you can do it. Exhale, let's step it forwards. So I'm building here. Let's inhale to lift. Good. Exhale, let's open up to warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So you might find here you could play around with the distance. You might go a bit wider in your stance. You might give the arms a break for a second, then come back in. Relax the jaw as much as you can. So there's a strength to this pose, but there's also an ease to this pose. The breath steady through the nose. One more inhale here. As you exhale, frame the front foot. Take your time to get there. And a breath into plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale forwards, keep the glutes firm, the back bend, and then exhale, lift those hips. Nice. Right leg lifts. Let's roll open the hip. Re-extend. Square those hips, step the foot forwards. Let's rise up. So returning to Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Only this time we'll flip the palm, reach forwards and reverse the warrior. So the left hand could go down the left leg, or you could hook the right hip. Keep pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. I'm just going to remove my pin so I can see more of you here. Okay, good. Nice. Now inhale, come back to warrior 2. Exhale, hands down, straight to plank into your vinyasa. Same exhale, bend those elbows. And inhale to move forwards. Exhale to come back. Spread those hands. Let's lift the left leg up. Bend the knee, roll open the hip. Re-extend, place the foot forwards. Inhale to rise. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale to flip and reach and go up and then back in the reverse. Yes. You've got those options with the hand. And you could look up or maybe look to the back foot. There's another option. Yeah. Keep that front knee really bent. Amazing. Now inhale back to warrior 2, that wide wing span. Exhale, plank. So a bit quicker to get down there. Elbows in to lower. Chest forwards. Inhale, exhale, hips high. Good. Let's lift the right leg up. Roll open the hip. Re-extend. Square the hips, foot through and forwards. Now breathe in to rise. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Let's reverse. So we build this ladder flow, that's it. Come back to warrior 2 and straighten the front leg. Option to go slightly closer in with the feet. I quite like a wide stance for Trikonasana. You might be like me. Widen the this time turn the palms to face the wide edge and reach towards the front foot side. Hinge from the crease of the front hip. Take the right hand down to the shin and lift the left arm up. And imagine you've got a wall behind your back and you're leaning the upper body against that wall. Firm the right buttock underneath you here with Trikonasana. Now let's come back to a warrior 2 of sorts. So bend the knee and come back into wide arms. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands down, same thing. We're going to go plank and straight into the flow. So elbows in. Option to lower the knees. Option to take low cobra or upward facing. On the breath in and exhale, down dog. Good. You're doing really well. Let's keep going. Left leg up. Bend the knee. Roll open the hip. Re-extend, square the hips, place the foot. Rising up into high lunge. Let's open up to warrior 2. Explore that reverse warrior again. So flip the palm, reach and go up and back. And return to warrior 2. Let's straighten the front leg and slightly shorter with the stance, potentially. Hinge from the crease of the front hip. Let's reach, and take it down. And it could be quite high on that shin. It doesn't have to be very low necessarily. The hand is up to you. Really press into the outer edge of the right foot. Notice what's happening to the underneath waist. Can you keep that really long? And roll the right ribs up towards the ceiling. That's it. Firm that left buttock. The left sit bone kind of goes underneath and draws under. Yes, good. Come back to that warrior 2 of sorts. Take it down on the exhale, straight into plank and straight into the chaturanga or knees down with control. Let's bring the heart through, tone the backs of the thighs and take it back to downward facing dog. Okay, good. Last little piece of the flow. Lift the right leg, roll open the hip. Re-extend the leg, square the hips and place the foot forwards. Let's lift up. Open up, warrior 2. Reverse. Take it back to warrior 2. And bring the forearm down. Very light touch. Left hand comes across. And you've got the option, so you can take it lower. Hand to brick, hand to floor. If you've got brick, I quite like a brick. Squeeze the arm and the leg together. Option to go for a diagonal with the top arm. Bicep faces down, hand faces the floor with the palm. That's it. Okay, good. Now let's lower that hand. Instead of a twist, we'll do something different here. So the left knee comes down. Move your block to the side if you've got it. And the right foot, this foot at the front, will go all the way to the back of the mat. Take your right hand to your low back and tuck the tailbone in and just check your glutes are firm. Then lift the right arm here. Options, lift the right leg, hold, or reach behind and reach for the ankle. If you've got your ankle, you can push your foot into the hand. So creating a bit more of a quad stretch. Keep those glutes firm and the heart forward slightly. So the inner edges of the shoulder blades gather a bit closer to the midline of the back. Now let's breathe in to release. Breathe out to square up on the floor. And take a moment just to get back into down dog. Inhale to plank. Almost there with the flow. Exhale, elbows in. Breathe in, chest through and forwards. Exhale, hips high. Last side, here we go. Left leg up, let's bend the knee, roll open the hip. Yes. Re-extend, let's come back into that prep position for the lunge. Rise up. Open up to Vera 2. Flip and reverse. Come back to 2. Forearm. Options. So you could have hand up. You could go for brick. Squeeze the arm and the leg together if you go for that bit lower version. Roll the ribs up. Bicep faces down, palm faces down. Eye line can be up or down. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Side angle. Now let's lower down the hand. Take the knee down here. Pop the brick to the side if you've got one. Left foot goes all the way back. Half side plank. Left hand to low back. Draw the tail in. Firm the glutes. Then lift left arm. Resist the floor with the right arm. Lift left leg, firm the glutes. Not that high, the left leg. No higher than the hip. Option to bend the knee. Reach for the ankle and push the foot into the hand. So you get more of a feeling for that left quadricep. Left front thigh. Firm the glutes. Chest moves forwards. The toning between the shoulder blades. And take a breath in to release. A breath out to square off. And a breath in and out to get back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards, plank. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, chest forwards, heart forwards. And exhale, lift those hips. Gorgeous, everyone. Knees down. Have a short rest. So take child's pose here. Just imagine you're in the heat. You need that rest after doing that in the heat, especially. So the knees are down, the forehead's down, forearms, palms down. Water if you need water. A couple of sips of water. Come back to the breath. How is the breath moving in the body? Where do you feel it come in on the breath in? How does it expand? And where do you feel it soften? How does it soften back? So there's an expansion and then a softening. So take another 4, 5 full breaths here to settle. Know that you've done really well. That's the most dynamic, fast-moving bit of the flow, a bit of the class. And then we'll move into some standing or static poses now. I know you know all this. I'm just saying what I would say if I was teaching a class to the public. So we'll build on what we've just done with some quad stretches and back bends added in, okay? So when you can, return to all fours, everybody. And then downward facing dog when you're ready. So notice what the downward dog feels like after, we've practiced a fair few times now. The backs of the legs will feel different to the beginning of the class. It might be that you feel like the heels could sharpen back. See how you go. They don't have to touch the floor necessarily. Let's lift the right leg. Bend the knee, roll open the hip. Re-extend, foot forwards, slow rise. Okay, good. Now from here, just pause for a sec, have hands to hips. And get the front foot just a little bit more in the middle. Just bring it a little closer to you. And you might want your bricks handy at the front. Now take hands to the side of the body. Bring the back foot in a touch closer. And lift the back leg off the floor. Now tip the upper body forward, square the hips. And hold there. A bit like a capital T shape from the side. Now grab your bricks. Have your hands on your bricks. Or they can be to the floor. Square the hips as much as possible. Now here, right hand, fingertips to floor or hand to the brick. Left hand to the hip. Come into half moon. Firm the glutes and lift left arm up from here. Option to reach the left ankle and push the left ankle into the left hand. So the thigh gets that stretch and the chest opens. Slow release after that. Square the hips. And bend the standing leg. Roll down the bricks. Bring them closer. Head drops down. Standing splits. Don't be put off, by the name of this. Just think, this leg is lifted. Yeah? That's it. Okay. Lower down the foot behind you. Let's take blocks to the side. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards plank. Exhale, lower knees down on chaturanga. Inhale, heart forwards. Exhale, heels back. Okay. Amazing. Now, second side for that. Left leg lifts. Just roll open the hip. Re-extend. Bring the foot forwards in between the hands. I just want to look at you for the second side. Rise up. I'll be lopsided, but it's just what we do, isn't it, sometimes? And from there, make the stride slightly shorter. That's it. So the left foot comes a little bit closer. No rush with this next part. So as you take the hands to the hips and lean the upper body slightly forwards, bring the back foot a touch closer to the front foot and start to lift the back leg off the floor. Tip the upper body, but have from your head to your heel, one long straight line. That's it. Yes. Amazing. I think you're all yoga teachers. Amazing poses. Very nice control. Now grab your bricks or fingertips to floor. Okay, no worries. And from there, transition to half moon. So left hand can be to the block or fingertips, right hand to the hip. Can you open up the front of the pelvis to the side? Turn the toes to the side, firm the glutes. Maybe look to the side of the pod or look downwards. Now, option to bend the knee and reach for the foot, candy cane, and you press the foot into the hand and the chest moves forwards. Option, no pressure to do it if you don't want to. Then re-extend the leg, no rush, take your time, control it. Square the hips. Bend the standing leg, walk those hands a bit closer in, fold over the standing leg. So you're in the standing splits pose, that's it. Head can drop down, back of the neck long. And the lifted foot can be flexed or pointed, I'll leave it up to you. Okay, amazing. Bend that front knee, come into a long, low lunge. Transition either straight to plank or it can be down dog, then plank. Yes, a few more vinyasas, you can do it. And you've always got those options to bring the knees down. I secretly prefer that version. Have done for quite some time. Knees down, low cobra. Still does the job. Yes, I like being closer to the floor. Okay, amazing. Good. All right, so from here, either step or lightly hop to the front of the mat. And bend those knees from here. Go hip width with the feet. Bend the knees. And imagine you're sitting back on a chair. So you sit the bum back. There's no chair. It's like the crewless yoga joke. There's no chair. We have to sit on it. So get back. Arms up. Hold, just for a breath. Sit the weight back. And then slowly come up. Oh. Shake out the hands. Shake out the legs. Have a sip of water if you like. This is the first time we're standing up. Okay, so if you just need a moment just to kind of feel, how is it to stand? Okay, in this way, I mean, you know, in this mountain pose way. My feet are on the floor, standing tall. Dancer's pose. Let's take the right hand out in front. You're holding a tray. Turn the tray out. And you drop the tray. So the inner arm is facing out. Reach for the inner edge of the right foot. Squeeze the thighs together as much as you can. Firm the buttocks, tail down. Left arm up. Press the foot into the hand. Doesn't have to be very far forwards. Square the hips, square the shoulders, look straight ahead. The more you push the foot into the hand, the more the upper body will be able to come forwards. It's a counterbalance. Strong in the standing legs, spread the toes. One more breath here in this side. And then a slow release. Good. Have a little shake. Let's do the other side. I'm going to turn just so you can see me slightly differently. Hold your tray, left hand. Open it out to the side. Drop the tray. Got this open, this external rotation here of the shoulder. Opening up the inner arm. Bend the knee, reach for the foot. Knees towards each other, right arm up. Firm the glutes. Some people want to stay here, so no pressure to go deeper. Push the foot into the hand if you want to go deeper. Resist the floor with the standing leg, look straight ahead. Square those hips, square those shoulders. That focus through past the fingertips. Slowly return. Well done. Fantastic, everyone. Really good. Back into chair. So go hip width if you want, or legs together. Sit the weight back. Hands to prayer. Turn to the side and hook the left elbow around the right knee. That's it. Knees stay facing forwards. Sit down a little bit lower. And see if you can press that top hand into the bottom hand to rotate deeper. Slow release. Take the hands all the way down to the floor. Head heavy. Have a little shake out of the legs. I'm a big fan of a short break in between. Is this a lot? Very good. And bending the knees. Sit the bum back. Raise the arms. Hands to prayer. You can do it. Let's go the other side. Keep those knees forward, squeeze the thighs. press that top hand firmly into the bottom hand. Roll open chest. Look towards that left elbow, down the bridge of the nose. Yes. Inhale and exhale here. One more breath. And let it go. Let's take here, I'll give you options. You can either just let the head drop down, take a forward fold. Could be hands on bricks. You can take a stretch for the wrists, Hastasana, hands underneath the feet if you like. It's really nice after all the planks, just to go the other way with that flexion. So you can bend the knees, drop the head, and the elbows if you're going deeper. Just a couple more breaths there, everyone. That's it. Okay, amazing. Slow release of the hands. Let's take the feet wide. Bend the knees, bum downwards. Halasana. This could be heels on bricks or sitting on the blocks. Hands to prayer. Chest is broad. Take the hands down. Step the feet back. Last vinyasa. Inhale forwards to plank. Exhale to lower. You can do this. Maybe your most considered one. Inhale forwards. And exhale, rise up, back. Good. Take the knees down to the mat. A brief child's pose. Then come to lie on your back. Just flip yourself around to your back. Have a few moments here. Either legs can be long, or you can bend the knees and knock them in to each other. Take about half a minute here just to let go. So we've moved into this floor section, which is welcome. You've worked really hard, standing up, and built this heat in the body, done a lot on our feet, and now we're coming downwards to the floor the rest of the class. Take water if you need. Here for bridge pose, taking some time to get there. So feet can be flat, knees over the ankles. Doing amazing. Keep it up. Keep this energy up. Arms at the side, and press the floor away. Let's lift the hips, tone the backs of the legs, tone the glutes. Option to walk the arms underneath, roll those shoulders under, interlace the hands. And imagine you've got something in between the thighs. You've got a balloon that you're holding in between the thighs. You don't want to drop it, but you don't want to pop it either. Think about that balance. Let's release the hands, lift up onto balls of feet, and release the spine down to the floor, upper back, middle back, lower back, pelvis. Once the pelvis touches down, knock the knees together, feet to the wide edges, and you might like to go slow side to side. So there's a windscreen wiper sort of action. Easing the low back, that's it. Now, second set, either going for bridge again, and you might like to take arms over the head for second bridge, or you can go for wheel pose. So if you're going for wheel, you set the feet up back to hip width, either version. Wheel, hands shoulder width, fingertips facing into the shoulders. Press the ground away and come very lightly to the crown of the head, and then come up into your full wheel from there, pushing equally through hands and feet as an option. And really push the ground away. So you feel like the chest is lifting upwards, you're coming out of those shoulders, really resisting the floor. And breathe into the armpit chest if you're in your second bridge. Now from wheel, slowly lowering more as a whole piece. And from bridge, you've got that sequential upper, middle, lower back. Sit. Take a moment just to let yourself settle, knees together, feet wide, hands to belly. Maybe a sigh up the mouth. Start to slow motion, hug the knees in towards the belly. Give yourself a little hug, side to side. I know you'll be devastated about this. We're not going to do any core work because of time. Yay! So from here, I mean, this is core anyway, but it's nicer. It's more fun. If we draw the knees in, I'm not going to do it with you just because of baby. Take the backs of the knees and rock up, inhale, and rock back, exhale. So rock and roll, inhale, that's it. Exhale, I'm sort of doing like a little mini version. And then coming up into boat pose. So both the legs will be forwards. And you can keep the hands at the backs of the knees, or you can go hands forwards from here. Puff the chest, be really proud to be here. Feel that smile across the collarbones. Amazing, one more breath in. And then exhale, just have a rest there, hands forwards, let the back round, drop the head. And let's move into all fours from here. So, the final thing we'll do is an option. And don't feel like you have to do it if you don't feel warm enough in the shoulders or if you find wild thing a bit tricky. I'm going to give you options, okay? So you can follow me and then see what you want to do. So the final push. Then we're coming downwards to the floor even more. So come into plank pose when you're ready, everyone. And if you're thinking, oh gosh, plank feels too much, I don't think I want to do that, then what I'd like you to do is return to that side plank, the right hand forward, the right knee down, and the left leg back like this. You want to go for full plank, bring that right hand to the center, slightly forward to the shoulder, and come onto the outer edge of the right foot. Now from there, step the left foot back behind you. Step it out wider, wrap the right shoulder blade in towards the center of the back, and lift the chest. The wild thing. Left arm comes up and over behind you. Slowly coming back to that foot in position. Side plank. Plank. And then take a rest. Maybe shake out the hands after that. Well done. Let's do the other side. So you've got those options, right? Always options. Here, or knee down, here. And you might go for what we did earlier, where you lift the leg and you go for candy cane. Okay. Now, if you're in your plank, side plank, the left hand comes more in the middle, slightly forward to the shoulder. Step the right foot behind, lift the right arm, step it wider, and wrap the left shoulder blade into the center of the back. Lift the chest, lift the belly, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, and the right arm up and over. Resist the floor with the left arm. Come back with that foot a bit closer in. More stacking of the hips, stacking of the feet. Plank, this time, down to your belly. All the way down. That's it. A low cobra. And child's pose. And rest in child's pose. Really well done. Really well done. So if we had a bit more time, might add camel in here too. If we had time, yeah? Or you'd skip wild thing and you'd do the camel if you preferred. But for now, just take another few breaths here to rest. Almost at Shavasana. Heart rate settle. Start to walk the hands to the thighs, head heavy, unfill the spine. Come up to more of a kneeling pose, bum to the side, legs forwards. This is my kind of structure. We're just jumping straight to Paschimottanasana. Legs forwards, zip the legs together, flex the feet. Let's lift up the arms, tall in the sides of the waist. And then hinge forwards from the creases of the hips, reach forwards and then down, that's it. And the hands will be at the side. They could be, the tips of the fingers could be on the floor. Just a couple of breaths. Slowly coming out. Good. And let's, from here, transition onto your back. So you can bend the knees, slowly come onto your back, no rush. Let's take a gentle twist. So go a bit wider with the feet, a bit wider with the knees, a bit wider with the hands. Take a breath in the center. Exhale, knees come a little bit over to the side. They don't have to touch the floor. Then breathe in, come back to center. And as you exhale, come onto the blade edges of the feet. Inhale back to center. Exhale, there's just a little bit of movement for the knees. And then breathing in back to center. Exhale over to the side. That's it. So it's a gentle twist. Then come back to center. Give yourself a really big hug. Well done hug. And a couple of minutes here to rest. I'm not going to talk. I give you 3 minutes of silence. Try and stay as still as you can. Any last little movements you want to do, go for it. Then try and stay as still as you can. Palms can be open, feet can flop open. You might yawn or sigh. Couple of minutes here. So keep your body resting for a little bit longer. Start to become aware of any sounds that you can hear in your space. Any subtle sounds? Might be indoors, might be outdoor sounds. And start to notice now the movement of the breath and the sound of the breath. And breathe in. Imagine you're breathing in all the way to the edges of the body. Exhale back to the center of the body. Breathing in all the way to the edges, tips of toes, fingertips, top of head, and exhaling back to center. A couple more times. And as you breathe into those edges, bring a bit of movement into the fingers and toes. Head might go side to side. You can take a big yawny stretch. And bend the knees, roll to the side slowly and curl up in a side lying position exactly as you would if you were at home, like resting, in that napping sort of position. And pressing the floor away slowly to come up to a seat when you're ready. Finish just in that same position that we started, that cross legs position. Bring the hands to the chest. Just notice how you are without any judgment or expectation. Just notice how you are. And noticing that ease of the breath. Give yourself a well done. And slowly release the hands and blink the eyes open if they're closed. And roll the shoulders back. Well done, everyone. Thanks so much. Just for time, I'll just jump straight into what I'm going to do next. But if you need the loo, go to the toilet, do whatever you need to do. But I'm going to just carry on so I don't keep you past past. So even if you have to go back to the recording and just check what you missed, if you need the loo, go, then that's okay. So I'm going to share some slides with you. I hope you enjoyed class. And you might have noticed some little changes, and we'll go through those as we move through the slides. So let me share these slides with you now. Share. Okay, I'll just check you can see these. Just going back to the beginning. Okay, so hopefully there's a slide. You can see a slide that says Hotpod Flow Refresher. Can you see that? Okay, amazing. Yes. Okay, technology. I'm not going to say anything else in case everything falls apart, but I'm happy inwardly, secretly, that it's working. Okay, so I want to just whiz through these because I know that you're familiar with them. So it's pointless me talking too long about it because you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing. But if we think about the reason why we have these structures, we've got the student perspective of familiarity. So when they're starting out, there's a lot going on. It's hot, there's poses. Some of them are learning how to breathe properly in this long kind of steady way. So to keep the classes consistent is really helpful. Progression, so they start to see progression in their own practice when there's something similar that they're being taught in terms of a structure. It doesn't have to be exactly the same poses, but this like structure that we follow. Then when they get familiar, they see progression, they can get into these deeper states of meditation, right? So it goes beyond the poses. We go into this breath, body connection, these deeper layers of yoga. Then for a teacher perspective, you'll have felt this, like when you know this sequence, you know this structure inside out, you've got space to focus. You can move around the pod. You can focus on individual like cues, adjustments maybe. You don't have to be stuck on your mat thinking, oh, what's coming next? There's a timing aspect to this. So the structure should ideally line up with all the poses inside it so that it all fits within 60 minutes or 45 minutes. And then safety. So we've got things in place for this hot environment. I would never come to your classes in a non-hot studio and say to you, oh, you should be following this exact structure every time you teach. No, I would never do that. But in the hot environment, there are things that work better than others. I'm sure you felt this, you know, when you've taught something, tried something, and you're like, oh, that doesn't quite work. Maybe I'll try it different next time. Just because there's so much going on, it's different. There's an extra sort of stressor on the body. So we need to keep things really consistent and clear and not too complicated for the students, basically. Okay. I know you know about pods, but just to whiz through pods, and we'll talk about each one quickly as well. So pods, these are the core pillars of what makes a Hotpod class impactful and enjoyable. So why is it important? If we talk about this first P, personality, why is it important to be yourself? Like, what does that enable us to do? And feel free to unmute yourself if you want to here as well. Actually, if you could unmute yourself, because this is where I'm going to fail with my technology. I don't know if I can see the chat box. Anyone?
Hi there, it's Emma from Swansea.
Oh, Emma, you're talking.
Hi. I find that I've been a student at
You
Pod
might
for
need to
years.
unmute yourself.
Did I? Can you hear me? Cool. So I've been a student at Pod for obviously longer than I've been teaching, and I find that even though the overarching structure is very similar, as a student coming,
Emma,
it was
I think you're
nice
talking, but I
people
can't
put
hear you.
their own little
Maybe
flavors
because I'm sharing, is it? I
possibly.
got too cocky about technology working.
Technology's bitten you
Emma,
now.
are you talking?
I will put it in the chat.
I can hear you, Emma, but I think maybe Carla
Hold
can't.
on.
Thanks, love. I'll stick it in the chat just in case.
Oh, you can hear me. I can see the chat box now. So maybe, oh, you can hear Emma. Weird. Why can't I hear Emma? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Emma. Yeah, it's nice to have a different view on the familiar flow. Yes, exactly. We'll come to that when we come into structure. Thank you. So even though the overarching flow is the same, every teacher teaches it. Yeah, exactly. Personality, if we just stick on personality just for a moment, it's about connection, isn't it? So when you're teaching your students, the more you can be yourself, the better. And what's going to make you more yourself is being comfortable in the pod, right? Knowing your sequence, feeling in control, feeling inspired, energized. So look out for this. So if you're feeling a bit like you're going through the motions, you're feeling a bit bored, you're a bit like, you know, why is that? Could you change up a couple of things? Could you go to people's classes and get some inspiration? Could, you know, what is it that could bring this personality through even more? Now let's move to pace. If the pace is off, some of you have talked about pace already. If it's too fast, if it's too slow, what do you think happens? Especially if it's too fast, I find, like, or too kind of manic. What do you think happens? You can write in the chat box. I can see it now. Maybe that's better than speaking. Sorry. I'd rather hear your voice. What happens to the student if it's too fast, do you think?
Off.
Anyone?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can turn them off. Yeah, I can put them off. Students lose
Okay.
the benefit. Yes, they become overwhelmed.
Okay.
Exactly. Too challenging. They give up. Yeah. Deflated. Yes. And they might not come back. They're like, oh, I knew this wasn't for me. It's too fast. I don't like the heat. Oh, right. So it becomes overwhelming. It becomes overwhelming. So it needs to be that smooth, steady, controlled pace, not too fast, not too slow. So it doesn't have to be like crazy fast, but just keeping it flowing, keeping it strong, keeping it connected. What's the perfect balance vocally? So if we think about the voice, you know, we want to be, and you'll all be doing this already, right? Oh yeah, pop comments in the chat box. That's great. Thanks, Helen. Yeah. So the voice, the oration, we want energy, we want variation. So sometimes we're settling in our voices, sometimes we're motivating in our voices. Yes, we've got the mic, but we still have to work the voice in different ways. So it's about that balance, that variation. And then also, don't talk sometimes. I went to a retreat over the new year, and the teacher who was teaching on the retreat, I went just for myself. She was amazing. She knew so much. She'd done like 1,000 trainings, but she talked the entire time. So I was like, I want to be able to take everything in that you're saying because you're so knowledgeable, but I can't. I can't. It's too much. So we speak, and then we don't speak. Especially in those moments where people are settling. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So feel really confident with that. Speak, share your knowledge, educate, inspire. So let's move on to deliberate movement. Oh yes, I just put energy, variation, space for them to feel it. Of course, a lot. Yeah, nice. Yes, thanks, Rose. Yes, you stay quiet, especially in the nurture classes. Yes, lovely. Deliberate movement. So how much should we be moving around? Do any of you find that you kind of find yourself pacing around sometimes and you're like, oh, where should I be? What should I do? So try and make impact with where you are in the Hotpod flow. Maybe sometimes you're at the front and you're settled yourself, seated. Maybe sometimes you're standing, you're mirroring at the sides, especially good for the flow section. Maybe sometimes you've got a mat that's placed in front of your teacher mat, so it looks like a T, and you're doing the same thing as them. You're facing the same direction as them. Maybe sometimes you're at the back of the pod and you're giving those people a chance to see you. But be purposeful where you are. And this will come with knowing that structure off by heart as well. You're like, yeah, I know it. I can stand wherever I like. So impact, make an impact with your movements. Structure. Okay, so how much do we add? How much do we take away? Who noticed? I mean, just give me a couple of poses in the chat box that you noticed that I did in that flow that isn't in the ones that are in the manual. Anyone notice anything? Right in the chat box. Yes. Candy cane. Such a nice name for a really difficult pose. Yeah, nice emojis. Thanks, Rose. Candy cane. So what did we do to warm up for candy cane? There's something in the beginning. Sorry, this is messy, but we did a kind of backbendy lunge here. Subtle. Yeah, what else did we do? We had this half side plank. Yes. Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Hannah. Yeah. So we had the lunge, we had the side plank with the candy cane version with the knee down. We had the full-blown candy cane as an option. Then we had something balancing. What was the balancing that we did? That was the quad stretch, the heart opener dancers. Yeah. And then what did we do as the final push where we were on the floor as an option? Anyone remember? Yes, cat. Yeah, wild thing. And you could keep it as the knee down half side plank. Yeah, nice. Loving the emojis, Rose. Thank you. And you could add in camel if you've got time. So it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of variation there. And I've got quads and back bends as my focus. So I keep it quite simple. Some of you you'll be doing this already, right? You'll be adding things in. So what you can do is vary the focus. So you honor the structure, but you vary the focus. What I find that I've noticed, say I've been to people's classes and they're mixing things up, is that they'll do 3 flows instead of 5, and I don't sweat. I'm not practicing in the heat right now, but I mean pre-pregnancy. So I really like to sweat, right? That's why I'm in that pod, right? By the flow, I want to be sweating. And I'd be coming out of these classes, I'd be like, oh, this was a nice class, it was a nice sequence, it was creative. But what these teachers were doing that I've been to, they were cramming a load of things into 3 flows, not 5. So try and keep that 5 flow situation so that you get the peak of this vinyasa. So if you move on to this vinyasa arc, last couple of slides, this vinyasa arc, we have to have it, that crescendo upwards. Then we're coming down, and you've done all this before half an hour. So they've done all this hard work, then they're standing, then they're balancing, they've still got this sweat, they're still working, and then they're coming down this steady curve downwards. It's really important that we keep that bum, 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 bum to the top. Otherwise they don't sweat. And I want to sweat in there. I don't know if you like me, but just got to sweat, right? Then, yeah, so I've just got here all those different sections. You know all these sections. You're teaching all these classes beautifully. But thinking of adding your own spin into them, just keeping all those sections, keep true to those sections, yeah? Just adding in bits, take away bits, put another bit in, build it logically to your peak poses. There's Hotpod Flow 9. That's the one I sort of messed with. And that's in the manual. We'll send you the manual. You've probably got it in your studio, but just in case you haven't, we'll send it to you. And that's number 9. And you can have a look at where I kind of took things out and put things in. And you could also add themes. Some of you will be really into your philosophy, really into your yogic philosophy, adding in those layers of maybe breath work as well. Like if you've got the time, adding in those different layers that are just not about, you know, anatomy, say. So feel free to do it. Scaffolding. So let's just talk about cueing. It's the best way to cater to all levels. Options. You might have seen me using bricks, offering you different things. You'll all be doing this anyway. Just keep up those options as much as you can. If you're thinking, oh, I don't know what the option is for this, might be too hard. Might be too hard for the mixed level class. We want it accessible for all, remember. And senses, keeping this experience. So how loud should the music be? Some of you might be like, oh gosh, I never know how to have the music. I tend to pump it up really quite loud for the flow, but then before the flow and after the flow, it's a bit lower, only a bit. So create this sequence, heat, sound, scent for the student. What doesn't work? Just write in the chat anything you've tried that doesn't work in the heat. And then we'll finish soon, I promise. You're doing amazing. Thanks for listening, everyone. Something that doesn't work. What about really crazy hard arm balances? Yeah, they don't work in the heat anyway. Long forward folds coming up too quickly. Yes, exactly, Hannah. Yeah. Too complicated with your sequences. That's not going to work because it's too much in the heat. And sun salutations don't work. It's too up and downy. They'll feel faint. Yeah. And I would never tell you to not teach sun salutations in a non-heated environment, right? This is just because we're talking about the heat. And final slide, just think about these key aspects of the class. So we've got this, how do I get rid of this? Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, perfect pace, rhythmic, fluid, smooth transitions. We'll send you these slides. Meditation and movement, working the whole body, calming the mind. So I kind of whizzed through those. I hope that was okay to whiz through those. Please let me know if you've got any questions. I know it's 3:30, but just let me know if you've got any questions, any of you. Is that helpful? Yeah. Okay, amazing. I'm getting thumbs up. Thank you so much. But please unmute or ask questions if you've got any. And ask, say if you want something, a question about the breathing, not all teachers will cue it in the same way, that's fine. As long as it's like smooth, steady, mindful, through the nose. Yeah, that's what we're aiming for with the breath. Great, I'm so glad it was a good refresher, Rose. Thank you. And if you're thinking, oh, I'd love this, more resources, please tell us in an email or tell your relationship manager. I'm still a bit unclear how much of the flow needs to stay in. Yeah, so no, it's a really good question, Kat. Did you notice which part of the flow I changed? It was only one bit. Was it the first bit? Or did I build it in the same way? And then there was something towards the last bit of the flow. Who remembers? Anyone? So it was the fifth part of the flow that I changed. I only changed the fifth part. The rest was the same. Yeah. You can change other bits, but for me, I didn't want to overcomplicate it for myself. So I just kept it the same. And then I brought in that peak pose of the candy cane with the knee on the floor version, so the half side plank instead of twist. That's what I took out. This would be useful for induction day for new teachers. Yes, it would. It would be useful, wouldn't it? Let's add it in. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. You're welcome, Kath. What I've got as well, just before you go, but go if you need to go, if you've got anything going on. But I recorded a creative sequencing video with our videographer, and this is included in like the full version. And then I've got 2 other alternatives that I filmed to give you some fresh inspiration. Say if you're like, oh, I'm not sure, what to take out, what to put in. Then we've got the edit of that. So as soon as we've got the edit together and we're happy with it, we'll send it out to you all, and you can watch it in your own time, in your leisure. And that should be quite nice as well to you to look at. Would love a video on sleep sessions. We've actually got something that our videographer has done on sleep sessions, rest and restore. So I'll get that to you as well. Cheat sheet. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Cheat sheet sounds great. Thanks, Nicola. Anything else that you'd like, let me know. You're welcome, Lucy. And feel free to shoot off as well if you need to. Just give me a wave or unmute yourself if you like. Thanks so much for coming, everyone. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Mia. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Steffi. Bye, Rose.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Kat. Oh, thank you, Nicola. Thank you.
Bye, Carla. Congratulations on your
Thank
pregnancy.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Joe. Oh, you're welcome, Jess. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you. Thanks, Celine. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. Thanks for coming.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I'll just hang on for another minute or so, just in case anyone's got any questions. Oh, you're welcome, Karen. Thanks for coming. And thanks, Shannon. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Helen, are you there? Okay, I think you might have gone. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop recording just because I'm teaching at 4. But let me know how you think it went in a bit. Thank you.